welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is Coleen. I've long known Green Antz and their advocacy because I think it was Joshua who mentioned to me about what they do, and I was surprised to know that some pavements or walkways in BGC and Ayala are made up of eco bricks. So I found out later on that their drop-off locations is far from our home, but when they started opening their drop-off point in Market, we were able to donate our clean and dry plastics. The first time I've donated, it was just 4 kilos of bubble wraps and Courier plastic bags, but it looked way huge because of the bubble wraps, because they can be flattened unlike the Courier plastic bags. I still remember carrying 2 eco bags with my sister, and we were able to get macrame bags in exchange. During those days, it became a family routine not to put sachets or plastic sachets in the trash bins and just put them in a specific area or container so that they can be cleaned later on. The second time we dropped off from Market was around December 30, 2021, and we were carrying 8 kilos of plastic bags. It wasn't really heavy to carry, but it was huge, and when we walked in the road, it was like we're owning it. Enough of the stories, let's now start preparing first the Courier plastic bags. To start, let's use this Courier plastic bags. After people take out what's inside their plastic bags, they mostly use this as trash bins or even plastic pots. But for us, we gathered them and dropped them off in Green Antz. So the first thing I do with this waybill upon preparation was I always cut this waybill because it contains sensitive information. So what I do is I cut them, the whole waybill, not just your information, because the seller's information too can be at stake. Now that we're able to remove this, we'll just set this aside and I'll tell you an important thing later on. Now that we have here, it's just as easy as that, and then you'll have to fold it nicely to flatten them. There it goes, and then you'll just repeat it for the rest of the Courier plastic bags. And now for the waybill, what we do here is, what we usually do is that we wash this with soap and water in order to remove the ink, so that whenever you put this in the trash bins, the information, your information, will not be visible. But for demonstration purposes, we also spray this with alcohol so that the ink will be removed. So we'll just spray this here. And rub it. And there, the information will be removed. So because nowadays, information theft has been a trend. I don't know why it has to be a trend, but some customers I know, some friends or relatives, have experienced being delivered parcels not from their order list. Sometimes they are required to pay, sometimes they're not, but even though you're not required to pay, the parcel coming whenever you don't have any orders, that's still alarming because your information is being kept by a third party you do not know. So it's better to remove the information on the waybill before disposing them properly in order to keep your information safe, not just yours but also the seller's information. So to gather the courier plastic bags, we'll just have to repeat the steps. You'll just have to remove the waybill, fold it properly and cleanly, and then dispose the waybill properly. And ta-da! We already have this much of Courier plastic bags just on January 2022. Next is the preparation of plastic sachets, which really takes up a lot of strength and determination. Joke. For sachets, I usually shred them and put them in a bottle. I've got this idea from the Pink Flamingo, and it really does save space. You'll actually be surprised how many sachets can actually fit in a bottle after shredding them. But before I put them inside the bottle, I usually clean them with soap, sponge, and water to clean any residue that remains in them. After cleaning them, I'll dry them in a hanger, and it usually just takes around 20 minutes to dry them. And now, here are the plastics that I cleaned a while ago, and now they're clean and dry. So now, let's try to see how many of this, or will all of this, fits in this water bottle. But the first thing you have to make sure is that you have a clean and dry plastic bottle. Now, we'll start shredding each sachet one by one. This is why I've been telling you that it takes a lot of strength and determination to prepare sachets, because you'll have to do this one by one. I just found out that the tinier the shreds are, the better, because it will be easier to, how do you call that, to keep them intact together in the bottle. The more sachet you could fit into a bottle. So now I have these here. I ended up shredding them into strips instead of bits because it might take too much time. So, but just a reminder that the tinier, the better. So the next thing that we're going to do is to fill this bottle with the shreds. Let's see if all these shreds will fill this bottle. Now when the bottle seems full, you can just press it using a stick. For now, I'll be using this feather dust to press them, and you'll be surprised of the space that it still has. It still has so much to fill. And now we're done, and hindi pa din napuno yung bottle, but I was able to finish the shreds. And I can still feel that more shreds can still fit in this bottle because it's still light, unlike the previous Echo bottles I made before. And look, it still has gaps. And when I tried pressing it in, it's like only 3/4 was consumed. So on other days when we already have sachets, I'll try to fill this in again. So this one is really an example of from this to this. So that would be all for now. I hope you liked my video and you're encouraged to do the recycling or keeping the plastics in the proper drop-off point. Just to share before I end this video, my desire to keep plastics on a better drop-off point or eco hub started when we passed by a landfill that's filled with so much plastics, because as we know, plastics takes time to decompose, and before that landfill was just a plain, and now that's somehow similar to the height of the mountain, which surprised me because it will take more years to flatten that mountain, or it can never flatten that mountain again because of too much plastics coming from the city being transferred to that landfill. And there, as a citizen, you decide where you put your waste, and I hope we decide on something that will not tickle our conscience years after. That would be all for today, and just a reminder to save your strength for what really matters. And this is Coleen. I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my video. Bye bye.